Have you always wanted to own your own business by becoming a licensed cosmetologist? If so, now is the time to enroll at Unlimited Cosmetology School, LLC, located at 102 Broad Street in Hattiesburg. That's right, learn how to become a professional cosmetologist by acquiring 1,500 clock hours in 12 or 16 months. Now is the time for open enrollment. If you're interested, contact Lisa Daniels by calling 601-336-7256 or 601-408-2650.
Hello and happy Mother's Day. I'm dedicating this program today to mothers everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are, who you are, if you are a mother, happy Mother's Day to you. Many people wonder, how did Mother's Day get started? Well, I read the history of Mother's Day, and back in 1914, a lady by the name of Anna Jarvis loved her mother so much, and she wanted to show her mother how much she loved her. So she went to the people, the government, and told them, look, can we set aside the second Sunday in May of every year to honor our mothers? And they said, okay. And ever since that time, it became a tradition. So every second Sunday in May, we set that time aside to recognize our mothers. Many women bear children, but a real mother, I want to talk for just a moment about what a real mother is. Not everybody who bears a child is a godly mother or a real mother. You see, Proverbs tells us in the 22nd chapter and the 6th verse to train up a child in the way that they should be trained, and when they're old, they will not depart from it. We're supposed to start training our children when they're young. We're supposed to nurture them. We're supposed to spend quality time with them, talking with them, teaching them, and listening to them. You see, many times we want to tell our children everything to do, but sometimes we need to have an open ear to listen to what they have to say. I'm talking about a real mother now. A real mother now is willing to make sacrifices for her children. If a real mother doesn't have enough money to buy clothes for herself, she'll buy clothing for her children in order for them to have what they need. If the food is running low, she'll feed the children, and then she'll leave the leftovers to eat for herself. I'm reminded here of the two mothers. I think it was in 1 King, the 3rd chapter, and Solomon had to make a decision. These two women were in the same house, and they both had children. And I think one of the ladies rolled over on the baby, and the baby died. And so they had to decide whose baby it was. And the one that killed the baby, she said the baby was hers. And then the other woman said, no, the baby is mine. And so Solomon was a man full of wisdom. So he said, I tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to cut the baby in half, and we're going to give you one half and you the other half. The real mother said, no, 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 let her have the baby. She would rather let someone else have her baby alive than to have half of her baby dead. And so that's what a real mother does. A real mother prays for her children without ceasing. She prays when they're young, she prays when they're older. She never stops praying for her children. She never gives up on them. You know, a lot of times people will give up on other people, but a real mother, a Christian mother, she never gives up on her children. She speaks life over them. She doesn't say, you're not going to be this and you're not going to do that. You're going to be just like your daddy. He didn't do this and he do that. No, a real mother will say, you know what? I believe in you, and God loves you, and he believes in you, and you can do this. She encourages her children. And the last thing she says to her children whenever she's around them is, I love you. Because if a child goes to school in the morning and they're having problems and people are coming against them, they can always hear those words ringing in the ear that their mother spoke to them, I love you. So that goes a long ways. She can discern when something is going wrong with her child. As a mother, many times when my children are facing dilemmas or something is not going right, in my heart, in my gut, I feel like I need to pray for her. I need to pray for him. Because when you have a close relationship, first of all, with God, and then you have a relationship with your children, and some people call it vibes. No, it's not vibes, it's discernment that God gives you, and you'll know when to pray, and you'll know how to pray, and you'll know what to pray. A real mother speaks words of wisdom and kindness to her children, and that's in Proverbs 31:26. And you know what a real mother does? A real mother teaches her children godly principles. You know, she gives them more than material things. She gives them wisdom, words of wisdom from God. And she lives and teaches them through precepts and examples. Because whatever you are doing, mothers, your children are watching you. If you show love toward your husband and other people, when your children get married, they'll know how to show love toward their spouses. If you show love to other people, then your children will show love to other people. You are on a stage, you are modeling, and they are watching every step that you make. A godly mother teaches her child to seek God for directions in their lives. They have to seek God. And she prays for her children to marry the right spouse. I can remember when my oldest daughter when she and her husband had their first child, my son-in-law prayed for Sarah's husband the next morning after she was born, and my daughter prayed for her to have the right husband the morning after the baby was born, as if the child was ready to get married then. So it's important that you instill these things in your children when they are young. And a godly mother dedicates her children to God when they're young. I'm thinking now about Hannah. Hannah couldn't have children. She prayed, she fasted. God gave her a son. His name was Samuel. And she told God, she said, God, if you give me a son, when he is weaned, I'll lend him back to you the rest of his life. And that scripture says this: for this child I prayed, and the Lord hath given me my petition, which I asked of him. Therefore also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he liveth, he shall be lent to the Lord. And he worshiped the Lord there. So mothers, you have a responsibility. To be a mother is to sacrifice. To be a mother is to pray. To be a mother is to forgive. To be a mother is to heal the wounds of your children through love, through compassion, through spending time with them, through talking with them, through teaching them, through being there for them when they need you. Through taking time out of your busy schedules, young mothers, I don't care how busy you are. When you get home every day, you take time to sit down, if it's not but 5 minutes, and talk to your children. Find out what kind of day they had. Find out what kind of struggles they are going through. And don't let the TV be the teacher for your children. Don't let the internet be the teacher for your children. If your children are spending too much time away from you, knock on the door. Go in there like a new sheriff in town and say, I'm here. What's going on in here? Many times we don't pay enough attention to the things that we need to pay attention to. We don't want to give our children too much of what they want and not enough of what they need. Take your children to church. Don't you send your children, you take your children to church. Don't you wait for the preacher and the church to read the word with them. That's good. That's why they go to church. You read the word with them. You pray with them. You tell them about the things of God. Tell them about the stories in the Bible. Tell them what Jesus did to die on the cross for their sins. I taught my little 6-year-old grandson last year about Jesus and asked if he wanted Jesus to come into his heart. He said yes. I explained it to him. When he got home, he told my daughter-in-law, Jesus lives on the inside of me. He said, I can feel it all in my stomach. And I'm saying, listen at that. And so she says all the time, you're acting like Hannah. But that's a good thing, because I want to be the kind of grandmother to teach my grandchildren, just like I taught my children. Now, if you are going through some things today, mothers, and you need prayer, I want you to call the prayer line, because I want to pray with you. Sometimes being a mother can be hard. Sometimes it can be difficult. Sometimes you get to the point where you want to give in, but you can't give up. You got to stand up, make up, get up, and speak up, and believe that God is still in control. I want to say to you mothers today, when you go to church today, enjoy yourself. When your children take you out to dinner, get the biggest steak they have on the menu. I intend to get me a T-bone steak today, and all I want left on the plate is a T out of the bone. So enjoy yourself today. Know that this is our day. This is a day that the Lord has made, and I'm rejoicing and being glad in it. I'm happy to have our Mother of the Year that we are going to be crowning today. She is a woman who deserves to be crowned Mother of the Year. You've got to stay tuned, because when you hear about her accolades that she has done in helping other people, you are going to know that she is the epitome of the real mother, the real godly mother who walks upright before the Lord, who trusts God. And if there is something you want to do, get up and do it. You are not too old. As long as you have breath in your body, there is something you can do. I know of a lady who went back to school at 92 years old and got her, what is it you get when you don't get your degree? She got her GED. Now, you might say, well, what is she going to do with it? She's going to enjoy it. So if you want to do something, mothers, always know that where there's life, if you're still breathing, then you can make a difference. And I want to say to the fathers today, to the daddies today, to the husbands today, love your wives. Show them love today. Reach out to them today. Let them sit down. Don't let them do anything today. If they want a glass of water, you go get a glass of water for them. Whatever they want, wherever they want to go today, whatever they want to do, be at their disposal today. And now we're going to go into the second part of this, because we have a very deserving lady here today that we're going to be crowning Mother of the Year for Lifting You Higher TV Ministries. And you are going to be so mesmerized at the things that she has done to achieve the things that she's been able to achieve. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you are being blessed by this program, we need your financial support at this time. Please consider becoming a partner or making a donation to this ministry. Donations can be made using PayPal at Hannah Hopkins Ministries, or by mailing your donation to P.O. Box 17405, Hattiesburg, Mississippi 39404. We appreciate your financial support. Please pray about being a part of spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ during this crucial time by making your donation today. If you have a prayer request, please call us at 1-800-305-1928. If you don't get an answer, please leave your name and number, and someone will call you back. Hannah is available for ministry and speaking engagements for conferences, revivals, and other church events. Email hannahhopkins@aol.com or call 601-296-7693. Have you always wanted to own your own business by becoming a licensed cosmetologist? If so, now is the time to enroll at Unlimited Cosmetology School, LLC, located at 102 Broad Street in Hattiesburg. That's right, learn how to become a professional cosmetologist by acquiring 1,500 clock hours in 12 or 16 months. Now is the time for open enrollment. If you're interested, contact Lisa Daniels by calling 601-336-7256 or 601-408-2650.
I have a surprise for you today, and I know that you're going to be blessed. I have a lady in my studio today that we're going to name Mother of the Year of Lifting You Higher TV Ministries for the year of 2021. You know, there's a scripture that says to give honor to whom honor is due. I have as my guest today, and also the one that we've selected after reading letters from different people about their mothers and the parts that their mothers have played in their lives, and how their mothers have been a blessing to so many other people, and how their mothers have worked hard and diligently to be a mother. And so we selected the one that we thought was the most deserving to be named Mother of the Year. And her name is Dr. Rosemary Atkins. Dr. Atkins, I consider it an honor to meet you for the first time and to have you appear on my program today. You know, it is a privilege to be able to recognize you as Mother of the Year, because we think that you are the one who should be named Mother of the Year, not because we're trying to pay you, but we want you to know that God honors what you've done, and we appreciate what you've done, and your children in the community appreciate what you've done. You know, there is a saying that says, be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is who you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think about you. But let me tell you something. People have spoken great things about your character. They've spoken great things about your reputation. I've not gotten any negative feedback. And everybody can't say that. So you've made an impact on the community by working with children, both in the church and academically. And so there's another scripture that says a laborer is worthy of his hire. Now, we're not trying to pay you today, because we don't have enough money to pay you for what you've done. But we just want you to know how very much we appreciate you. And with that being said, I had the children of the ones who wanted to recommend their mother to write a letter. And your daughter wrote a letter telling us about you and what you've done and what you mean to other people. So I'm going to ask Latasha Don, who is your daughter, if she would come up now and if she would read the letter that she has written. I want the audience to hear what they had to say about their mother.
I'm reading this letter that was written by my baby sister, Jaleesa Gordon, recommending our mother for Mother of the Year. My mother is Dr. Rosemary Atkins, but she had a struggle getting that title. My mother said she always asked God for 10 children because she had a lonely childhood. Well, she gave up a chance to be an awesome gospel singer, to get married and have those children. Her voice has been compared to Albertina Walker, Shirley Caesars, and Dottie Peoples. God gave her 9 children that she had to raise almost alone, since my father had a few problems. She would work in the day, take in sewing at night, and on the weekends. When she decided to attend college after working as an assistant teacher for 6 years, she had to attend college in the day, work in the Texaco store at night, and still take in sewing while caring for her all by herself with the help of my older siblings. My mother has a rare form of arthritis that crippled her in 1987. She was a quadriplegic, and the doctors said they could do nothing but keep her comfortable until she passed. She was diagnosed with lupus, but she refused to accept the diagnosis when she was first told by the doctors. My mother said she talked to God and asked God to give it to the swine, throw it in the air, but do not give it to her. When she returned to the doctor to have the test read, the doctor said, I do not understand, because I was 99.9 sure, but you do not have lupus. My mother said, but God. My mother said she talked to God and asked him to help her walk. Do not take her from her children, and help her be a good example for those children. She said that she started to crawl. Then she slid around on the broom and finally walked. She said, look at God. My mother continued in college, working at night and walking the college campus in the day until June 1996. She received her first BS in special education. She continued her education with 3 more bachelors, one in music, since our school was almost predominantly African American with no choir for the children who did not play in the band or on sports teams. Next, she got her bachelor's in English and elementary education. In 2005, she received a master's in counseling, psychology, and English 7 through 12, while still being the sole breadwinner for 9 children. Also, in 2005, in August, she was diagnosed with cervical cancer. My mother said she asked God why her. She said God told her that it was because she was to be a witness of his love, mercy, and power. She has been a survivor for 16 years and can hardly keep from telling everyone she meets God's goodness. In 2007, she received her master's in school leadership and supervision. She then became a school guidance counselor. She went back to college to get an education specialist degree and later her doctorate in theology and religion. When I think about what could have happened if she would have chosen to travel the world and sing, I instantly realized that she had a path to travel, and she was supposed to travel the path that included telling of the goodness of God. Dr. Rose Atkins retired in 2018 due to a lung disease that limits her walking, but that still does not stop her from testifying of God's grace and mercy and goodness. We are all 9 of us, minus my little baby brother who passed during the pandemic, proud to be loved by this wonderful lady who showed us that God has the final say in everything. By the way, my father is finally home and he's doing his part. Thank God for change.
Latasha, thank you so much for that letter. That is so indicative of who your mom is. And I'm sure she's proud of you today. So thank you for that letter. Now, as I said earlier, we wanted to do something special for her today. So we want to give her a donation from Lifting You Higher TV Ministries to say that we love you and we appreciate you. And also, I would like to crown you Mother of the Year from Lifting You Higher TV Ministries to let you remember, and the audience remember, that we tried to do something in recognition of a person who we think is very deserving of recognition. You know, a lot of times people do things and people just take them for granted, but I think that there is a time when we need to let people know how much we love them and how much we appreciate them. So with that being said, we are crowning you, if I can ever get this crown to work for me, as Mother of the Year for Lifting You Higher TV Ministries for the year of 2021. Thank you so much for being our Mother of the Year. Now, at this time, would you like to have something to say to the audience?
Oh, I don't know why I was given this, but I'm just so glad that I've raised my children in the way that they think that if I wasn't their best friend, I was their mother. I didn't feel like I was supposed to be their best friend. I was supposed to raise them. And I thank God that He gave me the wisdom and the strength to do that. So many times I didn't think I was going to be able to. But God. And that's what I can say, but God.
Now, our little bird told me that you sing. And I understand that you sing like someone that we're very familiar with, a gospel singer. So at this time, would you mind giving us a little sample of that singing that you do?
You want me to stand?
If you'd like to stand?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
Well, I've gotten older, and this lung disease sort of cut me off, but we'll do good. The one person that I really admired was Albertina Walker and Mahalia Jackson. And I think about this all the time, and I try to, it helps my soul when I sing. So I'm going to do my best. Soon we'll be done with the troubles of this world. Troubles of this world. Trouble of this world. Soon we'll be done. Troubles of this world. Going home to live with my Lord. No more weeping and wailing, no more weeping and wailing, no more weeping and wailing, going home to live with my Lord. Thank you.
My. I want to thank you so much. You have a beautiful voice. Sounds just like Mahalia Jackson. We thank God for this day. We thank God for this opportunity. We thank God for all of the mothers out there. We love you, mothers. We appreciate you, mothers. You all need to celebrate your mothers. This is a time to celebrate them while they are living. Mothers, if you have children, be thankful that God gave you children. And we are going to all work together to make this one of the most beautiful Mother's Days that we've ever had. When my mother was living, I celebrated her. And I thank God that I did. So I want to say to the young people, those of you who have mothers, don't do anything today other than celebrating your mother, because that's very important. And until this time next week, I'm Hannah Hopkins with Lifting You Higher TV Ministries saying, you be blessed.
If you are being blessed by this program, we need your financial support at this time. Please consider becoming a partner or making a donation to this ministry. Donations can be made using PayPal at Hannah Hopkins Ministries or by mailing your donation to P.O. Box 17405, Hattiesburg, Mississippi 39404. We appreciate your financial support. Please pray about being a part of spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ during this crucial time by making your donation today. If you have a prayer request, please call us at 1-800-305-1928. If you don't get an answer, please leave your name and number and someone will call you back. Have you always wanted to own your own business by becoming a licensed cosmetologist? If so, now is the time to enroll at Unlimited Cosmetology School, LLC, located at 102 Broad Street in Hattiesburg. That's right, learn how to become a professional cosmetologist by acquiring 1,500 clock hours in 12 or 16 months. Now is the time for open enrollment. If you're interested, contact Lisa Daniels by calling 601-336-7256 or 601-408-2650.